I'm from MYP Online Marketing, and I'm here to do a quick guide for the jungle of internet communication and online marketing. So today's subject is going to be about web development. And when we talk about web development, I like to talk about it's like building a house. The first thing is to make sure you have a location, a good address. That means make sure you get a good solid domain name, and then make sure that it's registered in your name. So you don't build a website on a domain name you don't own. Now for website itself, you have two options. You can decide to do a customized website, as we call it. It's like building a dream house with all the things you want, the right features and everything it is, and it looks beautiful for you. All right? But it doesn't mean that it gives return on investment, because it might not be functional, user-friendly, or anything like this. But if you have the money and the right developer, you can do something really great. But you need to have the budget. If you're a startup or an entrepreneur or somebody that just want to do step by step, I recommend a template-based website with a content management system. What I'm talking about here is like, imagine we have kind of model houses, like they're built more or less the same way. There might be a little bit changes, but that's it. You can't really change much there, but you can control, for example, the color of the house, or maybe the type of windows you want to have, or doors. So you have some options in how it looks and feels. Put some modules on there also. Inside, the interior decoration is like the content management system. So the content management system is where you control your text, your images, your videos, your contact details, all these kind of things that makes the website looks nice. So if you have a content management system, it's important that your web developer train you in how to use it. Of course, let's say you know there's a mistake, you see there's a mistake on the website, a spelling mistake or grammar mistake, or you want to put a new product in that you're very excited about, and 10 o'clock at night or 6 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday, you can go in, boom, change it, update it, and it's live. Now, if you don't have the time for it, and you want to spend your time on doing leads follow-up, selling your products, or making your products, you can have what we call a content agreement with your web developer. It's generally a monthly fee, and they will then update the website as you see fit. Of course, they don't do it at 10 o'clock at night or 6 o'clock on a Sunday morning. They do it in their work hours and according to the planning. So when we talk about like an agreement with your web developer, you should consider like a house. You have maybe your garden, so you need a gardener, or you want to do the garden yourself, it's not a problem. But would you do the electricity, the plumbing, the security? You might not want to do that. And the same thing for a website, on your hosting, for example, or there's patches to do on your house, your website. So you have a maintenance agreement with your web developer that does that. And the good thing about that, especially if, let's say, your server, your hosting goes down, your website goes down, and it's in your peak time of your business, you can pick up the phone, call your web developer and say, hey, I have an issue here. And then they have to fix it and get your website up and running. Otherwise, you have to deal with it yourself, and that can be a nightmare. Right? So when we talk about maintenance and all these things here, we also have to talk about price. And price is debatable because it all depends on what company you deal with, what kind of service they give you, how flexible they are. But I would say if you take a template-based website with a content management system of 5 pages, which is the minimum you should have to be considered a website by search engines, you talk about 8,000 rupees, including domain name for 1 year registration and hosting. If you want to have a really good website with a lot of information in there, talking about your product, your strategy, who, where, why, what, and so on, and maybe a little blog or something like this, say 20 to 30 pages, you should consider that it costs you about 20 to 30,000 rupees, and that's a one-off price, plus the hosting for 1 year and the domain name for 1 year. And then, of course, you have to consider there's going to be constant marketing of it. So social media marketing, on-site optimization, optimizing for the search engines, off-site optimization. There's all these kind of things. So you have to understand when you buy a website, it's like buying a house. There will always be something to do on it, and it will cost you some money. So you need to put a budget on a monthly, on a yearly basis to cover those expenses. And that should wrap up the quick guide for web development.
Lovely.